Hi there everybody! I've completed videos reading out all 7 of the lower chapters, which are about half of Knightmare and the Dragon's Lair, by Dave Morris, of course. And I am now on to the actual adventure, which is quite exciting. Now, I'm just looking up what year it was made. 1993. And the illustrations are copyright 1993 by Arcadia, A-R-K-A-D-I-A. And they're quite good illustrations. Nice vintage, simple. I mean, there are a lot of better ones, but I do like them. They go well with the book. Lovely vintage book. So I'm going to wheak through the rules real quick, and then we'll crack on with the adventure. You will need a pencil and paper for noting down possessions, spells, and code words that you acquire during your adventure. You will also need a 6-sided die. I have all of these things. I don't know if you can see where I'm gesturing. Maybe not, but I have them. To hand. The rules of the quest. Now, it's got a sort of simplified variant. Well, it's the same, but less. It doesn't have the graphics. I don't think we can get a picture of the glorious life counter skull thing with its red, amber, and green, of course, you start with when it's healthy. But the thing in the bottom of the corner in the Knightmare TV show, and it's the Helmet of Justice, is it that it's called? The helmet in the bottom, and they wear it. The kids wear it, and then they have it in the bottom left. Was it that corner? And it would go, and bits would rip off it, and it would sort of go to orange. And then it would like go rip, 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 and fly off, and it would have the skull, right? And then it would start sort of going like a weirdo. That happened, right? It would roll its eyes, and then it would go roll, roll, and you'd start flying. The camera would fly through its eye socket. And unless the kids really pulled something amazing off, like, oh, I forgot I had food here, or, oh, you gonna die. Because the eyeballs start rolling, and you know, it's game over. Spellcasting, D-I-S-M-I-S-S. Oh, well, no shame in that. So having explained that, because I thought people might be watching this who've not seen the show, you know, people watch this from all over the world. It was quite a while ago. I have to remember. I'm bad at explaining things as though everybody knows what the fuck I'm on about, and half the time, more than half, I'm sure, everyone just has no idea, and it's just like, she's so nerdy. Let's just humour whatever the fuck she's talking about. It's delightful. This time I thought I'd try and bring a few more people a little more on the journey with us by explaining that this was a TV show and that it had graphics that go along with the explanation now. For the rules of the quest, because it's saying, your life force has 3 levels, green, amber and red. You begin the adventure with life force green since you're unwounded. During the adventure, it is possible for you to lose life force levels. For instance, I should say, same difference, but it says instance. For instance, if you're on amber and we're told to lose 1 level, your life force would change to red. Keep a note of your current life force. Once you are on red, any further loss of life force will kill you. You can carry up to 6 possessions at a time. If you already have 6 possessions and you come across an item that you think you might need, you will have to discard one of your other possessions to make room for the new one. You can discard a possession at any time just by crossing off your list. Food is useful because each item of food you eat will increase your life force by 1 level. Your life force can never go higher than green, though. Oh, you can eat food at any entry marked with an asterisk. Cool. Items of food count as possessions. It is possible to learn spells during the adventure. Each spell can only be used once. Spells are not possessions, so there is no carrying limit on how many you can learn. Now you're ready to set out. Am I right in thinking that getting to carry 6 things is incredibly generous? Because in the show, do they not tell the kiddies that they have 2 hands and that they can carry something in each? Because you don't get to put things in the satchel. They have a satchel as well. And you think that's equivalent to a backpack. It's not. You don't get to carry things in it, right? You put food in there and it's like your stomach. I that rightly, don't I? Because I thought that was quirky as heck as a kid. Never had a problem with it, just took note, stuck in my memory. So I'm writing down my 6 inventory slots. Smash in. I don't have colours, it wouldn't really work. I'll just have a green, amber, and red, and have like a little arrow or something. That'll do. A wee section for spells, I suppose. That's fine. Alright. Now we are ready to set out. I'll have a little set, finish this off, and then we'll get going. Traegard greets you in the great hall of Knightmare Castle. Logs hiss and spit in the hearth as he explains your quest. You are to journey through Tanglewood to the Lake of Wisps, he says. In the centre of the lake is a mighty stronghold where the future king of the land is held prisoner. You must free him. All right, you say, nodding. I'm ready to set out. I'm also going to say I can't remember what voices I gave anybody for any of this, so we're starting fresh with the voices I'm giving everybody. I am attempting to give Traegard a Traegard voice. I have not watched Knightmare since doing my previous videos, so I can't entirely remember his accent. Sort of lordly and booming, and I think English vaguely. Is he? I don't know. Anyway, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Oh man. It's a while since I saw Knightmare, you know? I should watch it again though. You're gonna get that on the internet nowadays, aren't you? Oh, I bet it's good. I'm gonna watch that again. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be a big Knightmare nerd today, I think. Anyway, I've got it all lost. Where are we at? We're to journey through Tanglewood to the Lake of Wisps, and in the centre's a lake, there's a mighty stronghold, and there's a prisoner there, the future king of the land. How do we know that? Dunno. Traegard? He got the scoop. We have to free him, so that's fine. Alright, you say, nodding. I'm ready to set out. Whoever told you that you were ready was speaking harshly. Was the previous page? Don't know what to tell him. Anyway, he's booming that at us. First I must give you your possessions for the journey. He opens a casket and takes out a helmet, which he puts over your head. It sounds so dodgy, but yeah, okay. No, nothing dodgy about this. Right, even though the visor is a solid metal plate with no eye slit. See, this is going to sound so sketchy to anyone who doesn't know what Knightmare is. We're a little kid. We've gone to Knightmare Castle to see this weird guy. He's like, this is him. Just an old guy with a big old guy with a beard. And now he's putting the helmet of justice over our head, basically, and it's I thought it was made of leather. It says, oh, maybe the visor is a solid metal plate with no eye slit. I thought the helmet of justice was just made of leather with horns, isn't it? Anyway, maybe we're in an alternate reality here. That does let me off the hook if I've got all of the accents wrong, actually. I'll just declare this to be alternate reality Knightmare. Why not? They appear to have done. Anyway, Traegard's opening his casket and taking out a helmet and sticking it on my head. Nothing weird about that. Even though the visor is a solid metal plate with no eye slit, you find you have no trouble seeing out. Oh, I did remember it right, just about. It is the Helm of Justice. Record it as the first of your possessions. Oh, does that take up a slot even though it's on my head? Oh well. I guess we have 5, because you do have to keep that on, I'd assume. Kind of its whole shtick, Knightmare. Having this thing on your head. Oh, next Traegard hands you a spear with a jewelled haft. God, you don't usually get given a spear with a jewelled haft by Traegard at the start. This is the Lance of Truth, he says. Oh, record the Lance of Truth as one of your possessions. I don't mind if I do. That sounds very useful. Well, he's given me more. The last item he takes from the casket is a shield, whose border is decorated with intertwined dragons in copper and gold. You are told this is the Shield of Honor. Note this is the third possession. Now you're ready, says Tregard. He steps over to the doors and flings them wide. A shimmering blue haze lies beyond, the magical gateway to the first stage of your adventure. You step forward into the haze, and the scene behind you vanishes. Fantastic. You find yourself in a dark forest. Soaring pine trees surround you, stretching up towards a sky filled with glittering stars. You pick a direction at random and begin to walk. After a short time, you see something flitting between the trees. It is a bat. Something seems odd about the way it is flying. You dart back behind a tree and watch as it comes closer. You can now see there is a tiny silver saddle on its back, and holding its reins is a fairy knight, no bigger than a carrot. His couched lance appears to be a long pine needle. You watch the bat-mounted knight go flying off between the trees. So I have three options. If I sneak after him, that's an option. Can call out to him, or I can ignore him and continue on your way. On my way, I should say. Well, I'm not going to just ignore him. I mean, I do appreciate that they've not made me have directions and pick one. I think, yes, the first time a gamebook has told me that I pick a direction at random and begin to walk. I just appreciate that. I don't really like it when it's very boring and you get to a junction and it's just like, not even one path is interesting compared to the rest. It's just like, there's corridors or roads or tracks. They go west, east, north. They go left, right, forward, whatever. Sometimes that's okay. I mean, brevity is good in gamebooks. It's good to have it as an option, but it's when it's every choice. This is sort of the opposite. They've gone, well, let's just have them walk a bit in a direction. All the directions are the same. That's okay. This is one of the ways you can do that. Just inform the player you're picking a direction at random, you're going to have a walk. Love that. This is a very blethery playthrough, I've realised. I may need to do another one in which I just get the hell on with this. Maybe I should do a really boring playthrough the first time and just declare this is kind of a duffer of a playthrough, but I'm going to just sort of blethering. And then if you really want an exciting one, you could go for episode 9. How about that? Apologies for anyone who's watched this for 13.5 minutes hoping for this to be the exciting episode. Oh well. Soz. I never know what I'm doing until I get into the middle of a book because I have not played this before doing the video. That's the case for all of them so far. I probably should say that, eh? There's a lot I just don't think of saying in my videos, but yeah, every one so far is a fresh playthrough. My first time playing it, so you're getting my actual reactions, and because I don't know any video editing, everything is done in one take, unless it cuts off. If it's over 35 minutes enough to stick it together, but then it's seamless anyway. You just stick them together. Right, so lost place of where we're at. Right, so we're at a dark forest, trees soaring up, picking a direction, seeing this fantastic bat rider. Tiny little fairy, nice one. So, I believe we have a picture of his little spear, maybe, or a spear. Can't even get the lighting. Oh, anyway, it's a lovely spear. Sneak after him, call out to him, or ignore him. Well, I mean, will we just go for a kind of walk in the woods this time? Let's see if how far we get trying to do nothing in this adventure, just for the lols. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how well we'll get on. I have an opportunity to eat. I don't know. I've not picked up food or been wounded. But okay. I must be doing something right. Maybe you're wrong, because I don't have food, but I've not been wounded. Anyway, as you pass on through the forest, you reach a high bank, formed by a ledge of moss-covered rock. Climbing down the bank, you notice a cave, with a large boulder rolled across the entrance. The boulder has been crudely hewn to resemble an angry face, as if warning travellers away from this spot. Grumpy boulder. Yeah, that's it. I didn't think it had the Helm of Justice. Can you see that? Maybe I hold it. Kind of if I hold it at an angle, you can see that, right? Yeah. I thought it was like leather, but then had the horns. It says it's got a metal plate for the visor. Maybe that's the thing on top and down the front. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Anyway, we've got a grumpy boulder here. You turn, scanning the darkness for signs of habitation. A glimmer of light catches your eyes far off between the trees. If you roll the boulder aside to get into the cave, that's an option. If you go towards the light, doesn't that sound exciting? Sadly, today we are just having a walk in the woods. Like say at this point I feel like you've been warned. We all are just having a walk in the woods here. Because that is also an option. If you continue further through the forest, yeah, just have a wee stroll. I mean, that cave, yeah, it looks dangerous. The light, I don't know. Let's just have a walk. Oh no, I was going to say you know where you're at with a nice walk in the forest, but you're suddenly set upon by a horde of tiny, imp-like knights, riding on the backs of bats. Ooh, maybe I should have done something about the bat guy then, eh? Their lances prick your skin painfully as they swoop into the attack, easily avoiding your clumsy swipes. With high-strident cries, they warn you to retreat from their territory. What will you do? You can offer to help them, you can protest that you did not realise you were trespassing, or run off at once. Oh, I'm just having a walk in the woods, I don't want an altercation, I'm just gonna run away. Run. Running and walking through the woods, tra-la-la-la-la. You progress through the wood. I'm not bad at getting attacked. It's got another star. I get to eat here if I'd found any food, but I don't need it. I feel like I'm doing well in this adventure. Well, question marks, in this adventure. You progress through the wood to a village where you find a hay cart. Weary from your travels, you slump down in the hay and fall fast asleep. It is afternoon when you wake up. So, do I want to go to the stables here? Do I visit the tavern across the village green? Do I go into the blacksmith's workshop? Or set out again on your journey? You know what I'm gonna say. That'll just, I don't know. I was gonna say I've got stuff to do and places to be, but I don't. I'm literally just going for a walk. I have no reason to avoid all of that. It sounds so good. We're gonna do that in my next video. For now, we're just having a walk, right? It's already mid-afternoon by the time you set out. Soon you are walking along a lane that skirts between yellow corn-filled meadows and deep forest. This is really good given that I am just going for a walk and a little bit of run in this game. Eventually, as the sun sinks low in the sky and shadows fill the dales, you come to a stone cross. From here, the path forks in two. Now, they haven't distinguished them, but this is a situation where I would say it's fair enough. Just pick one. I'm going to go to the left. The moon is shining brightly across the fields. By the time you arrive at a pond beside the road, on the far side of the pond, you notice a small pavilion of white marble, with ivy growing on the walls. You look to your left where the tangled woods loom darker than a coal cellar at midnight. So I can investigate the pavilion. It does sound good. I can venture into the woods. Or I can head on along the road. Am I getting going for a walk options? Is this gamebook absurdly well optimised for people who can't be asked to go on an adventure and just really want a nice walk? Oh my gosh, so do I head on along the road or venture into the woods? I do like having a walk in the woods. We did start off doing that. We're kind of just having a walk outside though. I feel like venturing into the woods is too exciting even. I'm just gonna trundle on along the road. It sounds nice and safe. Yeah. Get my steps in. Is it 10,000 you're meant to do a day? I'm getting up for it maybe. Oh, we're even getting told how far now. You walk on for a mile or so. I don't know how far it was before the last walking, but we went through the woods. We went a bit more walking. We're probably up to 3 miles. If this is an extra one just from that. A fallen tree lies across the road ahead. If you want to climb over it and continue on your way, that's an option. You can decide to leave the road here and strike off into the forest. Again, I think this forest is sounding scary. I'm gonna try and just hop over, climb over it. Without warning, a ferret-faced man in a grey tunic steps out into the road. He has a crossbow pointed at your chest. Good evening, he says. I'm part of a new economic scheme for redistributing wealth. Your cooperation is appreciated. You look at him dubiously. You're a brigand, aren't you? He is taken aback at this. No, I'm the local tax officer. I'll assess your tax according to a simple questionnaire. There's only the one question, and here it is. My brother and I set out to see my uncle, and I took my horse, and I got there in 2 hours 6 minutes. Are we getting a whole maths problem? Let me write things down. What? No, I'm going to read it out, then write things down. Hang on. I didn't realise it was a quiz. Of course Knightmare has these. My brother and I set out to see my uncle. I took my horse and got there in 2 hours 6 minutes. Less 17 minutes for a shortcut. So that would normally be 2 hours 6 minutes plus 17 minutes would be 2 hours 23 if you didn't take the shortcut. I just figured it would be good to calculate it. They're probably going to ask. My brother took his mule and got there in 111 minutes. Who is the faster rider? Well, 2 hours would be 120. So 111 minutes is less than 2 hours. Oh, so we didn't need to calculate what it was without the shortcut. Never mind then, this is a rambling episode, whatever. I should have read it first. See, there's a lesson for you. Read the question before you answer it. You'll save yourself time. We even get moral lessons and life hacks on this channel. We get everything on here. Anyway, who's the faster rider? Right, he and his brother set out. He took a shortcut. Still took over 2 hours. His brother took a mule, got there in less than 2 hours. So yeah, it's his brother. Yeah. Oh, we've got more. Okay, we've got telling him he is, telling him his brother is, or using a blink spell if you have one. Haha, I bet that was one of the exciting places I ignored because I'd rather have a little stroll. Anyway, it's his brother. Dee. True, but strange, he says. After a moment's calculation on his fingers, he raises his crossbow. I've assessed your tax. It's everything you possess. Seeing you hesitate, he adds, better pay promptly or I'll have to charge interest. You begin to suspect that he is not really a tax inspector. In any case, adventurers are exempt from paying tax. You give him a shove and, stumbling into the tree trunk behind him, he falls over. You run back down the road, but before you reach the safety of the woods, he has regained his balance and sent a crossbow quarrel whistling through the air to impale your shoulder. Lose 1 life force level. If still alive, you plunge off into the darkness of Tangled Wood. Oh dear! So it's going rip with the helmet. Like the horns are probably falling off. Can I get a picture of this thing to show you while it happens? because this is what you would get in the TV show. Oh, I can't find the Helm of Justice. There was a picture of it somewhere. It would be in the bottom left, and it would be green and healthy looking, and you'd see just a little bit of a chin underneath, because they'd have it on their head. I mean, bits would rip off, you know, and it would sort of go whoa, whoa, with quite a good light effect. And it would turn orange. Right. So we're heading off to Tanglewood, it looks like. Having a stroll along the road did not work out. I'm actually starting to think, like, this is quite a long adventure. I might just go up to the size limit for this episode and then declare this episode done and start a new adventure, because this time I've decided to just fart about and go for a walk. If anyone really wants to see the end of the going for a walk adventure, you can always request it in the comments. But I think everyone would rather I actually get on with a real adventure of this, rather than continue going for a walk for what must surely be more than one episode, which I did for some reason not anticipate this taking long. Okay, anyway, cracking on, still just going for a walk is the plan. You have not gone very far into the forest when you see a lurid green glimmer between the black trunks of the trees. Moving closer, you peek out from a bank of ferns to see a large gypsy encampment. Wow! But these are no ordinary gypsies. Crouching somberly around the weird green fire, or slumped on the steps of their caravans. They have the faces of dead men. Ew, what? There is none of the laughter and music and merriment you would expect of a gypsy camp. God, that is horrible. The only tune is a funereal dirge that one of the ghostly gypsies is playing on a violin. Ooh. The firelight sparkles on a pile of treasure. Gaping caskets spill their contents of silver, gold and jewels over the grass. One of the phantom gypsies idly pours emeralds through his fingers as he sits staring into the fire. Do I want to approach the camp? Obviously you'd say yes, or I just want to have a walk in the woods. Off we trot through the woods, troll-a-lol-a-lol-a-lol. You arrive at a wide clearing where the carpet of grass is broken by many rings of odd black toadstools. You detect a rich cloying scent in the air. The moonlight seems to hang like strings of diamonds in the foliage. There is magic here. Bone weary after your escapades, you cannot go any further without a rest. There is an old wooden arbour at one side of the clearing. You take a closer look and discover that, although the seat inside is crusted with moss, it looks comfortable enough. Just as you're settling down for 40 winks, you notice a mark in the lichen-stained arch above you. Peering at it, you see the unmistakable outline of a horseshoe. It looks as though a horseshoe has often been nailed to the arch in the past, although there isn't one there now. So it's asking, if I have a horse and took it to be shod at the blacksmith's, we didn't do that, we were having a walk. We have no horse, or if we didn't bother to have it shod, we didn't either. We just, nah. Didn't I say something about clocking up steps? We were probably catching Pokemon, you know, we weren't getting a horse. So I have to turn to that section. There's clearly something going on, we have to put a horseshoe there. Okay, I can't, that's fine. You settle yourself down to doze, but within moments of closing your eyes, you are suddenly alarmed to hear a babble of small shrieking voices rushing towards you. You jump to your feet as tiny fingers no bigger than insects' legs go poking through your clothes. You catch just a glimpse of many tiny violet-cheeked imps in ragged sable cloaks. Then they go scampering off across the grassy sward with many a laugh and shout of malicious glee. When you examine your belongings, you discover they've stolen all your money. Ooh, if you had no money, though, they stole any one of your other items from your list of possessions. They have not told me that I can just get rid of the Helm of Justice. And I can obviously see in this adventure. I don't think the Helmet of Justice does anything, does it? I feel like the Lance of Truth and Shield of Honor are real wildcards for me, but the Helmet of Justice never did anyone any good in any of the Knightmare adventures. And it doesn't seem to really be a thing here anyway, so that's the one. They've pinched that. Have luck with that, guys. Have fun being blind. I don't know. There's no accounting for taste. They didn't know it was just rubbish. It's fine. Maybe it is good equipment. Maybe it's good armor. Maybe it gives me a +3. Who knows? It didn't say. You realise you cannot rest here. It is still several hours till dawn, and you are groggy with fatigue, but you set out again through the woods. After a while you hear something, and cupping your ear, you make out the words of a merry tavern song ringing out in a rich baritone. Now, here I am going to finish this particular adventure. If anyone does want to see more of my bizarre, just having a walk playthrough, I didn't know what to call it. I know this is bizarre. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not running a normal channel here. It's okay. It's okay. I know what I've got. If you do want to see more of it, though, it will be paragraph 44 to start from, because I'm going to have to go to the end of this one to see where, because I'm going to write it down on something and lose that. We all know this, right? It starts with, "It is Brother Mace pushing a wheelbarrow," so that I can find it again. If anyone actually does want to see more of this, I really must be off, though, because we're up to nearly 33 minutes, and it will cut off automatically if I don't end the episode is the thing. There's a maximum file limit for Android, and it is about 34 minutes, I think. So I'm going to wrap up for now. I'm going to say toodly the no. Thank you for joining me for a more relaxed bit of a playthrough. It wasn't a full playthrough. A bit of a playthrough, though. Bit of a one, bit of a walk, bit of a stroll in the forest, bit of a walk on the road, climbed over a tree, didn't we? That was exciting. I hope you've had fun. I definitely don't expect anyone to contribute me any money for that, but if you really want to, I'm going to put my Ko-fi link in the description. I did have fun. That was really fun. It was such a silly idea to just go for a walk. I might try this with other adventures if any of them give them the option to. I didn't expect them to let me get away with that. That was hilarious. Achievement unlocked. Spent 34 entire minutes just having a walk in a game book in Knightmare. I had fun. I had a really good time. Cheerio! I hope I do see you in another video. They're usually better than this. Bye!